Good morning, everybody. I just took a shower, and today I want to talk to you about the future of Dungeons and Dragons Online. For those of you that don't know, every single year, Standing Stone Games produces a producer's letter of sorts where they talk about what are the new things they're going to be doing during the year. So I want to take a look at this producer's letter, but I know that this came a little while ago. I want to let it sit for a bit, see what other information was coming out. We also had the anniversary where they continue to talk about more things, so maybe we could gather some more context. So I want to give you my thoughts on what's going on with this letter, what's interesting, and what you need to know about it. So we're going to go through it together, and then I'll probably give my comments and ideas about what some of the things that are coming out in here. So to start off, they talk about how happy 15th anniversary, DDO. It's been 15 years. For me, I've been playing since the beta back in the day in 2005 before the game released. So I'm really excited about this. He said that we're excited to reach this milestone and are ever thankful to our players for making this possible. Today I'll be talking about some of our plans for the rest of the year and letting you know what we're looking forward to do. So that is Rob Ciccolini. He's the executive producer of Dungeons and Dragons Online and Lord of the Rings Online, Sir Verlin on the forums. And yeah, he kind of wrote this whole thing, gives us some context and some information, and there's a lot of good stuff in here. He says in the coming weeks we'll be celebrating House Fjarlin as we bring out an updated anniversary event. This year's event features a few minor updates to the challenge itself, along with a large number of items added to the reward list. We'll be bringing back all the house-specific Ebron cloaks in the reward list that we gave out in the last few years for our anniversary. And in case you missed one or missed it, we're adding a new cosmetic helm and a cosmetic pet as well. We'll also be distributing 2 special gifts to everyone. One will equip to your character as a cosmetic, and the other one will be something for your character to actually equip. So if you missed it, the anniversary event's going on right now. Go to House Fjarlin to check it out. I highly recommend, if you haven't done it, to just walk around the actual anniversary area and talk to every character. Some of the stuff that's going on is very, very entertaining. All of the hardcore hosts make an appearance, as well as a lot of the other people make an appearance. So if you haven't checked it out, I recommend taking the time to actually take a look and go through it. It's really, really fun. Some of the items are okay, nothing special. The motherboard's pretty good as a Vanguard shield, but everything else is kind of it's nice if you have it, but it's not really necessary for leveling, but it is pretty cool. On top of that, the gifts, the cloak is amazing, and not just the cloak looking amazing, but also you get a free piece of raid loot. People ask me all the time, what do I think you should take? What do I think you should take? In my opinion, you get an item, take either the Sword of Shadow, if you like fast leveling with a 2-handed sword. Take the Quiver of Alacrity if you don't mind upgrading it for the extra 30% movement speed on a first level character, or take whichever thing you think looks cosmetically the best, because cosmetics are really all that matter. Next thing he says, the release of the new raid, the Dryad and the Demigod, marks the grand finale of the Fables of the Feywild expansion, and the raid features the music of our in-house composer Bill Champagne, and we think it's a raid unlike any other that you may have seen before. The idea of a musical raid has been kicking around the office for a while, and we think players of all types will have something special here. Anyone who purchased Fables of the Feywild will have access to this new raid. It's important to note that Fables of the Feywild, this raid, it's out. It is really fun. If you haven't seen it yet, there's a video on my channel already of the raid, so you can check it out there. I've beaten it multiple times on Reaper mode now. There are special mounts. There is 50 weapons from it. It's very, very cool. I recommend you check out the raid. It's also very unique just in general. And on normal mode, it's fairly straightforward and pretty easy. Anyone can get through it. So you should have a good time. The next thing they want to talk about is Hardcore League. So this says, this spring brings the first Hardcore League of 2021 to the game. The 4th season of Hardcore will feature some new and returning guests in the form of minions of the 9 Dalekeer Lords. You've met the Lord of Eyes and Lord of Stone, but have you met the rest? And apparently there's going to be a 5th hardcore season later in this year. This is really exciting. They think probably sometime around April is what we heard on a weekly Wednesday lunchtime live stream. For me personally, Hardcore League is one of my favorite things in the game. It gives me good opportunities to make first life characters for all of you guys, because they have to be strong enough to get through the game without requiring any type of tomes or preamble of stats, but also they need to be really fun and unique to make the game interesting in general. So for me, I kind of go back and forth, and I really like Hardcore League because it allows me to push my character designs and make characters that are really, really survivable and really durable as first lifers, and then also possibly pass them on to you guys if you find them interesting enough, and so that I can keep making cool YouTube videos and content. So I'm very excited for Hardcore League. It's too bad we don't get more Hardcore Leagues. I know people have differing opinions on this. Some people love Hardcore League and wish it was there all the time, like myself, and other people don't like the fact that Hardcore League exists for a whole bunch of reasons. So I'm happy it's coming back, and 2 Hardcore Leagues in 1 year, it's good enough for me. The next thing is that we'll be getting another update. So this spring, which is soon, because this is currently, we're just right about to move into the spring. It's March today. We're moving into the spring. It will bring update 49 that includes 4 dungeons where you will have to help Morgrave University hunt down lost relics in a series of adventures that feel somewhat Indiana Jones-like. Alongside this adventure pack, the bow combat style is being revamped and will get new animations. So, important note about this one. There already is one of these quests in the game. called the Promise of Flame or Promise of Fire. I don't remember. But anyway, it's inside of the Searing Heights. If you have not had the chance to do it, I highly recommend checking it out. It's a free-to-play quest. Anyone can do it. And it's actually really unique and really creative, and I kind of love it. I try to do it every life when I can because it's just so much fun to run through. On top of that, there's going to be an update to the bow combat style. Now, later on, there's going to be a second update, which is a universal enhancement tree that's going to come out, so I just want to talk about this next thing here. But here's the thing. I'm excited about an update to the bow combat style. A lot of people have said that bow combat is essentially pointless and there's no reason to do it. I don't think that's true. I think context is everything, and that there are a lot of good situations in which you can bring a bow user. An easy example is while I was running the Fables of the Feywild raid, the Dryad and the Demigod, well, wouldn't you know it, we happen to have an Arcane Archer in our raid. The Arcane Archer was able to crowd control pretty much every single monster very, very easily, making it so much easier for all of our melee and all of our EC casters to get in and do what they need to do. It essentially turned every single non-boss monster into, like, not even being there because of how much crowd control there was. So, in my opinion, I think that the bow combat style is not the best combat style in the game, but it definitely has a place. However, my big worry is I want to make sure that bow combat still actually has a place and still feels different. There is going to be a revamp to the style and a new enhancement tree called the Horizon Walker, but my big worry about this change is that what will happen is we'll get the Horizon Walker, which will be very good and strong, just like the Inquisitive, and put the thing on the map. However, we currently have Inquisitive for crossbows and Vistani Knife Fighter for throwing daggers and Horizon Walker for bows, which is very strange. Pretty much every melee combat style can work very well on its own without requiring any type of special universal enhancement tree. Similarly, pretty much all of the spells work as well without a universal enhancement tree. I mean, even Fade Arc Illusionist. It's really cool to have illusion spells, but the best illusionists are the Deep Gnomes, who are instantly killing everything with Phantasmal Killer 3 times over. So my big worry would be the idea that we have an update to bow combat that either doesn't make bows feel like they're a new combat style or feel unique and different, or that they only feel good if you have this new Horizon Walker. Now, of course, this is just some of the fears that I have. I really want bow to feel like a unique playstyle. Right now, when you decide which ranged playstyle you want to play, generally a lot of people think, well, which one does the most damage, as opposed to, oh, well, this one has cool AoE, or, oh, this one has good single target damage, or, oh, this one has cool attacks and abilities. In my mind, and the way I would like to see bows get revamped, is instead of just making it so, oh, bows have more damage and just upping the numbers, which I think they have more than enough power to do, I would love to see, incorporate some ideas to make bows interesting. A lot of different video games have really cool bow attacks and animations. Lord of the Rings Online, Elder Scrolls Online, World of Warcraft. These games have bow characters, and in these games, the animations look sick. I would love to see some cool animations, some cool attacks and abilities, things that make bows feel different than just a regular thing. And that's outside of the Horizon Walker. If Horizon Walker or Horizon, however you pronounce it, is cool, I'm happy about that, and I hope that's good, and I want it to augment the bow playstyle, but it would be nice if bows could just be their own standalone thing. I mean, they're a martial weapon. They should be good. So I'm excited to see what's going to be coming out from that, but again, I'm holding my breath. I don't think that SSG is going to drop the ball in any measure. I do have the worry that it will be either you can play bow if you happen to be a Horizon Walker or an Arcane Archer, and if you're not one of these things, you probably shouldn't play bow. Basically, can I play a bow user who's a Kensai? If so, then it's probably going to be good enough and probably very interesting. Now, as this says, this summer will release the first mini expansion in Dungeons & Dragons Online in the form of the classic adventure, The Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. An evil alchemist's mansion stands alone on a cliff, and mysterious lights and hauntings have kept people away, despite rumors of great treasure. What's the secret? Debuting alongside this classic adventure will be the universal enhancement tree, the Horizon Walker, or Horizon Walker, which focuses on marking and neutralizing extraplanar and other enemies with the bow. As we get closer to the release of the Saltmarsh, we will learn more about what to expect from DDO's mini-expansion and the lessons that we learned from the Lord of the Rings Online's first mini-expansion last year and plans to give more value to VIPs. So to give you a little bit of context about this, I don't know anything about the Sinister Secret of the Saltmarsh. However, what I do know is that it's an existing classic adventure pack. Many people that are in my audience have told me that they've already played it or they own a copy of it, which is very cool, and I'm excited. My expectation for this kind of thing is that it's going to have quite a few adventure packs, and it says mini expansion, and they also said they're learning something from the Lord of the Rings Online mini expansion. If you don't know, when the Fables of the Feywild came out last year in November, right around that time, also in the Lord of the Rings Online, came out the War of Three Peaks mini expansion. Now, the War of Three Peaks mini expansion for the Lord of the Rings Online came out It was $20, so $19.99 US dollars, and it had 3 packs: a collector's edition that was valued at $60, and a ultimate fan bundle that was valued at $100. Similarly, with the breakdowns of the amount of extra cost, so it was 20, 60, 100, as opposed to 40, 80, 130 for the 3 packs. However, the base pack came with 2 adventure zones, the Elder Slate and the War of Three Peaks. It came with a dungeon, and it came with a raid, plus an entirely new system of interacting with the game called the mission system. It was a pretty good release overall. Most people that paid $20 for the pack got a pretty good bang for their buck. It was a lot of content. The raid's really cool. The dungeon's really cool. The items are neat. The mission system is fantastic. So I think a lot of people liked generally the content. However, they did make a few mistakes. The first mistake that they made is, as they said, the value to VIPs. In Dungeons & Dragons Online, when you're a VIP, you get all sorts of cool stuff. You can open quests on Elite right away. You get access to all the adventure packs. There's so many good things you get access to. But if they release a mini expansion right now, that means that the expansion they released in November, which is not an adventure pack, is not free to VIPs, and the mini expansion is also not free to VIPs, which will mean that in an entire calendar year period, you'll only get 1 pack, whatever is coming out with Update 49, as a VIP. All the other quests you don't get access to. That's going to drive a lot of people pretty upset, and that's what happened in Lord of the Rings Online. You have people who pay for the VIP subscription, but then in a calendar year, they got 1 quest pack, and they were upset because what's the point of having VIP if it gives them access to all the quest packs that aren't being produced? They mentioned a couple of things. So Verlin talked about it during the developer Q&A that he did, or the executive Q&A. And he talked about how one of the things that they want to do is make it feel like it has better value. They haven't exactly landed on something, but essentially said maybe they'll consider doing something along the lines of making it cheaper if you're a VIP. So if you're already a VIP member, it doesn't cost you $20. It costs you like $15 or something like that. So it's a less expensive purchase. Or maybe if you're VIP and you own it, you get a special bonus, maybe like a teleporting item while you're VIP or something like that. So they plan to make it so that you still have to buy it, and there's no way to get out of buying it, but it can be more beneficial if you are a VIP already, or there's some at least kind of meeting halfway. I know some people are going to say like, oh, well, if they make it cheaper, then why don't they just include it in VIP? And that's because if it's, they save $10, let's say, for example, off of the general cost of the thing, you still have to pay that $10. So it's not like you're getting it for free anyway. But yeah, so that's one of the lessons they learned. The other lesson, which I hope they learn from very well, which kind of bothered me as somebody who, gets the ultimate packs of the expansions, and I don't hide that. I like riding the cool unicorns and stuff. The ultimate pack, the top tier for the mini expansion, felt super lackluster. Generally, when you're looking at the expansions, the class or the collector's edition usually comes with, like, in DDO, the iconic race. It comes with a cosmetic pack. It comes with some items you can use, like some potions or things like that. It comes with a hireling for Feywild. That was super sick. When you bought the ultimate fan bundle, not only did it come with those things, but you also got access to the, I think it was the iconic shifter. The Feydark Illusionist came with the collectors, I think. There was an extra mount. There was an extra cosmetic set. There was all sorts of cool stuff, and it was pretty great. When they did the War of Three Peaks, they didn't have like a new class, or they didn't have a new race. So the collector's edition gave you some cool stuff. It gave you a mount, and it gave you a cosmetic set, which was pretty neat. But the Ultimate Fan Bundle gave you a new mount. It didn't come with an extra cosmetic set. It didn't come with extra consumables, which would make up the price of the extra cost. No special unique titles, nothing like that. So even something that isn't even like monetarily valued, so something like an XP potion, it didn't come with even something as simple as like a title, like something that's like a throwaway, you know what I mean? So I think that a lot of people were upset about that, myself included, because if you're going to ask people to pay an extra $40 over what they got before, it should at least fit the original extra $40. If you're paying $60 for the expansion, that extra $40 for the content over the $20 you originally purchased, if you want to ask somebody to spend $100, those 2 chunks of $40 should feel like they have some amount of parity. If anything, there should be more in that second chunk of $40 to get people to want to say, okay, I do want to buy the $100 pack. Maybe, there's like 5 XP potions in that $100 pack. Or maybe there's like a free autos box in that $100 pack. Because by buying it and get the autos box, now you can like boost a character and get right into the content. I don't know what they're planning on doing. I don't expect that they will be releasing, a race or something else alongside this. So I imagine that the Horizon Walker is probably going to be part of the Saltmarsh itself, either in the base set or you'll unlock it by doing the content. And then the Horizon Walker is going to show up in the collector's edition that would be coming out for around $60. So I have no idea what they could put in the extra $100 pack. A super Horizon Walker, a second tree, like that doesn't make sense, right? So if they do want to do that and follow the same model, I think they'll need to really sweeten the deal to make people want to go for it. Or I think a lot of people are not going to want to go for it. Or the people who buy it anyway, like myself and many others that I know, because they just love this game, will feel kind of cheapened for that thing. And then finally, what can you expect? It's a mini expansion. Probably going to cost around $20 when it comes out for the Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh. Severlin had talked about it a little bit, and this was kind of along my expectations too. It's about 8 to 10 quests, somewhere in that range, because it's not a whole expansion, but it's about 8 to 10 quests, and it's probably going to have an adventure zone. That sounds pretty good to me for like $20 worth of content, 8 to 10 quests. I mean, Ravenloft was 12 quests and 2 raids for $40, and this is going to be like 8 to 10 for $20. So half the price, but you just basically don't get a raid and you get a few less quests. I'm okay with that. I think it's going to be pretty good, and I'm really looking forward to it, and it should be fun. Later on in this letter, he says, the fall will feature a set of new adventures and a raid revolving around the Wild Hunt, as well as a significant update to our Epic Destiny system. We are restructuring the core of this system, modernizing some trees and redesigning others, and making Epic Destinies more versatile by allowing players to have multiple destinies active at the same time. This is very, very cool news. First, to specifically talk about the Wild Hunt, if you don't know what the Wild Hunt is, they're involved in the Feywild. They're very cool. So there's going to be a Feywild themed pack of some sort coming out. On top of that, there's also going to be a raid. The raid that is out right now, the Dryad and the Demigod, drops a mount. It drops a unicorn mount that can drop. In fact, there's 2 of them. In the actual Feywild expansion, there's a quest called Witch Hunt, where you have to work with the members of the Wild Hunt, and there is a special Wild Hunt mount. If this adventure pack doesn't come with either a Wild Hunt and extra pack, like with the Keep on the Borderlands that has like a horse in it, and it's not the Wild Hunt horse, or if the raid doesn't drop the Wild Hunt horse in it, which is the cool horse with the fire tail and everything else, we riot. So SSG, please put that horse in the game. I want to get it. I don't care if I have to buy it for an extra $24.99 or 2,400 DDO points or something with some cool cosmetics and some other stuff, or if I get it from the raid. Please put it in. I'm excited. But the Epic Destiny system. It says we're restructuring the core of the system, modernizing some trees and redesigning others, and making Epic Destinies more versatile by allowing players to have multiple Epic Destinies at the same time. Now, I can't tell you exactly what this looks like because I'm under NDA, because I'm on the Players Council, and I can't tell you. I will be in big trouble if I say anything. So all I'm going to say is that this is really exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing it. And I am very, very excited. I think this will be a good positive change for the game. You might be thinking, why would they redesign Epic Destinies? Epic Destinies are fine. Epic Destinies are good. I agree with you. Epic Destinies are fine, but they could be better. Think about it like this. The original enhancement system was in the game for a really long time. And when it finally got revamped into the current enhancement system that we have right now, it was like a million times better. Think about it the way it used to be, like your dog enhancement system, if you happen to be an artificer or a druid. You have to go talk to the trainer, then you have to click on this weird old menu and move like things back and forth in the little menu, and multiple things cost so many different points, and you don't know what the prerequisites for new things are. So if you decide, oh, I want my wolf to be a pack leader, well, you have to then click show and available, find the pack leader thing, figure out what the prerequisites are, then take the prerequisites so you can become a pack leader. It was a clunky, old, outdated system, and it needed to be replaced. The Epic Destiny system getting replaced is perfectly fine. Came out with Menace in the Underdark, and it's been 11 years, so let's take this thing that has been, kind of simmering and stewing, and make it something better, that's more interactable, and is a better system for 2021. Also, my least favorite thing about Epic leveling is like the progress system, and so I'm hoping that this will have something to do with, like, help fix that. I really hate the fact that whenever you level up in Epics, you get nothing. At level 22, you don't get a feat. At level 23, you don't get a feat. At level 25, you don't get a feat. So those levels feel like you literally don't change your character, and that's no fun. I don't know if this is going to fix that, but that's my biggest problem. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, and we'll see what happens. And of course, at the end, other things to look forward to this year include a new monster manual, which is exciting. We need like 3, because there's still a bunch of monsters from like Ravenloft that aren't even in the manual yet. A free dungeon to wrap up the year, which is great. I love free dungeons. Updates to our various festivals, and more. We want to thank you for continuing to make this game and community thrive, and we look forward to making 2021 a fantastic year for DDO. Well, thank you, Severlin, for giving us this information, and I hope I've given you guys some context about what they talked about in some of the other things since the time and giving you my perspective on a lot of these things. I am very much looking forward to seeing exactly what's going to come of 2021 for Dungeons and Dragons Online, but you better believe I'm going to be there, kind of showcase and talk about as much as I can and give you as much information as I can about what's going on, and hopefully continue to make cool builds and other guides to help everyone else that's watching this video continue to enjoy Dungeons and Dragons Online in 2021 and beyond. So thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching to the end of the video, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I'm really grateful that I get to do this and I get to keep making content for everyone that's watched it. My channel's been growing a whole ton recently because I've been uploading a whole bunch of videos, and I'm hoping to keep that going up, all the way to the moon. And we'll see how that goes. I'm also super grateful to every single person that stops by and watches my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/Strimtom. We have a great time there, and you might have a good time too. If you ever feel like stopping by, I'm live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, not Sundays. We don't stream on Sundays. But anyway, that's all I have for you today. I have to go bake an entire cake and then eat it with one hand, so I will be back later. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.